You said you had something?
Indeed I do.
This handwriting looks awfully familiar.
This is all the information that your friend Stephen Williams had on the case before his unfortunate death. A little appreciation would be nice.
James, I asked you to do something and you did it. Nothing special or spectacular. Just what needs to be done.
Charles, for a man of your intelligence, you lack brain power and conversation and gratitude. Since the 7 odd years since you left the police department, I spoon-fed you all the information you need. I put my job and God knows what else on the line every time. I do this for you and your cases. I've already raised many an eyebrow doing this. You need to document every file that goes in and out. This is some of the most protected information I've ever seen. Out of every file we have, this is the most important file to you.
I apologise for being so blunt. Keep in touch, James. Watch your back.
That's what I do when I work with you. Charles! You're the one they want, so I suggest you do the same.
It feels strange, being in a place where you could have lost it all, but all that strangeness turns sweet once you're out the other side.
Sir, it's been nearly 5 years since you acquired the service of me and my men. Do you understand why I'm interested in this situation?
Of course. I don't wish to bore you, Viktor. I'm just here to tell you the truth. It's about the file. It's gone.
Gone? What do you mean, gone?
Well, it was stolen by Detective James Cayman.
Cayman? How can you be sure?
Viktor, with all due respect, you've been away from the city for a while, and things have changed. I've enough eyes and ears in that station to open my third eye, let alone spy on one officer. One of the only officers at that to have never taken a bribe. It's painfully respectable.
So is that it? You want me to kill one police officer?
Of course not. James Cayman shouldn't have got through the doors of that station, but the police seem to be hesitant to pull the trigger when it comes to one of their own.
This file's been locked away for 7 years. You can't just shrug that off.
James Cayman having the file means nothing. It's just who he gave it to. Do you remember this place?
Vaguely.
I'm sure you remember Michael White though. Well, this place was White & Co. Shipments you can trust. Trusted until he was caught using his business to smuggle LSD, that is.
Where are you going with this? I was working with you at that time.
Michael White was labelled crazy. He told stories of being under threat, but no one believed him for a second. I mean, who would? That was, of course, until a lawyer, Stephen Williams, came along.
But White is in prison and Williams is 6 feet underground.
But when Williams gave White a chance, it became more than just him. At least 8 other witnesses, all on our payroll, were ready to speak out against me. Stephen Williams didn't give them success or riches. Stephen Williams gave them hope. Stephen Williams gave them a way out. But someone got to him first, and just like that he disappeared. Well, that was until they found his body in a forest 2 weeks later.
That was 7 years ago. Please tell me you haven't brought me here for a nostalgia trip.
A failing lawyer and one small business owner nearly took down my entire organisation. An unnoticeable threat turned into an almost unstoppable force. But what would happen if an already almost unstoppable force had access to their information?
Sir, who did James Cayman give the file to?
Who else could it be, Viktor? He gave it to Charles Whitmore.
He's been trying to destroy your organisation for over a decade. Why don't you just kill him? All you have to do is give the order and his heart won't be beating by sunset.
Viktor, it's far too late for that. With the information that's in that file, it wouldn't surprise me if you walked through that door right now with the entire police force behind him.
This information is containable. We can stop him before it's too late.
But it goes beyond information. The light that he has cast in the darkness, the fight and the hope he has inspired within the people, that cannot just be simply stopped. But those who shine the brightest have the deepest of shadows. Those with the deepest of shadows have the darkest of secrets. The Charles Whitmore that we all know, that the people all know, cannot be killed. But the real Charles Whitmore, he can be reborn.
No matter what you're planning, if Whitmore speaks to those witnesses, there's no coming back.
Well, of course, the combination of Charles Whitmore and those witnesses, well, that would be unstoppable.
So what do you propose we do?
We play them my favourite song.
How lucky can one guy be? I kissed her and she kissed me. Like the fella once said, ain't that a kick in the head? The room was completely black. I hugged her and she hugged back. Like the sailor said, quote, ain't that a hole in the boat? My head keeps spinning, I go to sleep and keep grinning. If this is just the beginning, my life is gonna be beautiful. I've sunshine enough to spread. It's just like the fella said. Tell me quick, ain't love a kick in the head? How lucky can one guy be? I kissed her and she kissed me. Like the fella once said, ain't that a kick in the head? The room was completely black. I hugged her and she hugged back. Like the sailor said, quote, ain't that a hole in the boat? My head keeps spinning, I go to sleep and keep grinning. If this is just the beginning, my life is gonna be beautiful. I've sunshine enough to spread. It's just like the fella said. Tell me quick, ain't love a kick in the head? How lucky can one guy be? I kissed her and she kissed me. Like the fella once said, ain't that a kick in the head? The room was completely black. I hugged her and she hugged back. Like the sailor said, quote, ain't that a hole in the boat? My head keeps spinning, I go to sleep and keep grinning. If this is just the beginning, my life is gonna be beautiful. I've sunshine enough to spread. It's just like the fella said. Tell me quick, ain't love a kick in the head? How lucky can one guy be? I kissed her and she kissed me. Like the fella once said, ain't that a kick in the head? The room was completely black. I hugged her and she hugged back. Like the sailor said, quote, ain't that a hole in the boat? My head keeps spinning, I go to sleep and keep grinning. If this is just the beginning, my life is gonna be beautiful. I've sunshine enough to spread. It's just like the fella said. Tell me quick, ain't love a kick in the head? said, ain't that a kick in the head? Like the sailor said, quote, ain't that a hole in the boat? My head keeps spinning, I go to sleep and keep grinning. If this is just the beginning, my life is gonna be beautiful. She's telling me we'll be wed. She's picked out a king-size bed. I couldn't feel any better or I'd be sick. Tell me quick, oh, ain't love a kick? Tell me quick, ain't love a kick in the head?
I was wondering when you'd find out. Now that you're man enough to meet me face to face, I'm guessing you're here to hurt me.
You jump to conclusions very quickly, Mr. Cayman.
Well, I've been on the job a long time.
Well, James. Can I call you James?
Only if I learn your name first.
You should know by now that nothing is that easy. James. May I ask you, Why have you been talking to Charles Whitmore?
Well, he's my friend. Friends are there to talk to. You should try it sometime.
Has your friend ever told you why he really left the police department? Some friend.
Are you trying to manipulate me? What? Do you want me to get rid of him? Wait. If you wanted him dead, he'd be 6 foot under by now.
You're a smart man, Mr. Cayman. But not quite there. You see, I don't want him dead. I want him to be truly alive. After all, isn't it strange how he's always so emotionless, so cool and calm?
If you're implying what I think you are, it would be like flogging a dead horse. I know him more than you ever will. Charles Whitmore is more than impossible to crack.
You see, Mr. Cayman, those who are hardest to crack are those who are already broken on the inside. Secrets wear people down, James. And so all it takes is a little push before it all comes crumbling down.
No matter what happens, no matter what you do to me, it won't change the fact that no one can beat Charles Whitmore. Especially not you.
Thank you, James. There was a final decision that I needed to make, but I believe you've made it for me. It's been nice meeting you after all these years. Farewell, my friend.
You can't win.
Victory's inevitable, James. It just matters how you see it.
Look, you're done with the place.
Thank you, Stephen. After my last paycheck, I thought a few things needed touching up.
You know, I never thought you had an eye for interior design. Your bedroom was always a mess of case files.
Well, I thought I'd design something nice. What is that?
This? Oh, it's a lucky coin. It's stupid, I know. But, you know, I've never lost a case when it's been in my pocket, so I just carry it around for good luck.
Yeah, I might have to try that sometime. Anyway, on the topic of your cases, how's the case of Mr. Fring going?
About that, how do I say this? My cases have been, let's say, put on hold.
Why's that? I thought they were going well.
Well, that's just it. Things are going more than well. I am now the official attorney and representative of Michael White.
You're what?
Look, I know, I should have told you sooner. It's just...
Why? Why would you do that?
What do you mean?
Without sounding rude, Stephen, this is my case.
A man needs help. An innocent man. He has been and is being terrorised by the same group that have done that to so many others in this city. And now, the opportunity to put the final nail in the coffin presents itself, and you're willing to turn that down?
I'm not turning down the opportunity, I'm turning down your involvement.
Why is that? Is that because you're Charles Whitmore, star detective loved by all, and I'm just Stephen Williams, your average attorney at law?
Because I have worked on this for 4 years with nothing else ever on my mind. I need this.
When has it ever been about you, Charles? In our professions, the well-being of the people is our only priority. We have to sacrifice our livelihood, our health, our image. We sacrifice all of that to make sure that the innocent of the world always come out on top. Our cases are people's lives, not just scores to add to your record. I will be in that courtroom on the 23rd of June, and I will bring them down. You can leave me to do it all myself, or you can try and help me. Either way, you'll be the best friend I've ever had, but this one time, you can't stop me.
Charlotte whiskey, neat please.
Make that 2. You've got some nerve showing up to a place like this.
What does my upbringing mean I'm not allowed to come to a place like this?
It's just, there are so many nice places in the city to get a drink. I would have thought your family owned a place or two.
This place seems nice enough, and it's not too expensive. The price of whiskey has skyrocketed recently. which is rather surprising due to some other substances recently hitting the market.
It's Johannes, by the way. Johannes Hyde.
Charles Whitmore. But I assume you already know that.
Who doesn't?
So, Mr. Hyde, you strike me as a very busy man.
Well, it takes one to know one. Wow. Being a famous detective, that's really something. All that hard work, sometimes even years. But, once a case is solved, all your problems just disappear.
You seem to have a way with words, Mr. Hyde. It's impressive. But I'm not one to dance around with metaphors and poetry.
I like it. Straight to the chase. Well, I'll make it very simple. Just for you. What leverage do you really have?
You do know about the file, right? And the witnesses desperately waiting to snap at a chance to expose you.
Ah. Are those the same witnesses that Steve Williams used? After all, it is his file.
All that information is rightfully mine. I've worked harder than anyone for it. I deserve this.
Same information. Same use of information. Interesting. Now where did that put Mr. Williams?
What are you trying to do?
I'm not trying to hurt you, Charles. I just want to put it all on the table.
How did...
So, you recognise it? I feared after all this time you wouldn't remember. But a man like you never forgets, no matter how hard they try.
Talk as much as you want. But when these witnesses speak out, you'll rot away in a cell far from your precious organisation.
You seem really fond of these witnesses. But have you managed to contact them recently? Because last I checked, they weren't answering their doors.
What did you do?
You didn't think that I would let these backstabbing witnesses walk free, did you? Especially after I found out that you had the file. Do you honestly take me for someone who's that foolish? But then again, you do have some quite strong feelings when it comes to betrayal. And there he is, the real Charles Whitmore. It's a pleasure to finally meet you. How does it feel? I must say, after 7 long years, it still looks so natural in your hand.
You don't get to do this. You don't get to win.
I see it all. The jealousy, the rage. You just couldn't let your long years of work live in the shadows of one day in court. Not you. You and your image.
How do you know?
How do you think I am in the position I am, Charles? Actual leverage goes a long way.
Is that right? Is that what you pride yourself on? Whimpering in the shadows, craving to make other people live in fear.
I I pride myself in not denying my true colours. I don't hide behind the mask of being a hero. I don't hide my secrets, Charles. I wear them on my chest. I think that means you have a decision to make. You kill me. Right here. Right now. And your secret dies with me. But someone else will take my place after I die. My organisation will continue to terrorise the people of the city, growing stronger and reaping its rewards. You will have no one to prosecute, and the people will be more in danger than ever. But you keep your perfect image. You're still the city's hero, and your secret stays in the dark. Or you let me live. In doing so, I'll turn myself in. I'll give the police all the information they need to rid the city of my organisation for good. But I'll tell the police and the newspaper and everyone about your little secret. The people are safe, but your image is destroyed. You'll be remembered as someone just like me, if not worse. The man who gave them all hope is just as bad as the man who took that hope away. So, Charles, what will it...
Touched the walls of a city streets and didn't explain, sadly showed us our ways. I've never asked him why. Cast down, it was heaven sent, and to the church, no intent to repent on my knees, just to cry.